welcome back to the Journey to the FarLands. All right. Okay, I got some crap to get rid of, so let's just get out of here. Head over here, make sure that we're clear and that there are no unpleasant personalities about. Okay. Now, let's see. Make sure I'm headed in the right direction, which is to the west and this way, because apparently in the previous episode, I managed to go that way for a major amount of the episode, which is the wrong direction. You know, that would be north. And going north is not the way to go. Anywho, here we are. This is for, let's see, this is the 11th of December, 2019. This is the 547th Minecraft day since I left spawn, all that distance behind me, and began this crazy, long journey to a place that I will probably take years to reach, the FarLands of Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. And so, well, let's see. 6,642.5 megabytes is the current size of the world as of the beginning of this episode. And it's time to continue walking, heading to the west, stopping just for a moment to throw away some of this crap that I don't need. Well, actually, that was probably it. Make some more planks. Make some more sticks. And bring myself up to a stack's worth of torches and get moving. Yeah, I've been meaning to do that for a while and haven't bothered, so there, it's done. Not that I use them a whole lot, but you always want to have them. Anyway, heading now onwards in the right direction. And what do we do here? Well, I talk and yammer on about, well, pretty much anything. And I make an effort to answer questions. Although sometimes my answers just raise more questions, but that's just the way things work sometimes. Okay. Let's see. Blaron Gemelli, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but it's not an easy one. This person of the difficult name asks, does your arm hurt when you play Minecraft? Well, technically the answer to that question is yes, because, and then for those not in the clue here, our question here is referring to the fact that my arm, my left arm, was broken in, I believe it was March of 1999. And because of the way it was broken, and because of the fact that I didn't have insurance powerful enough to cover the medical expenses and whatnot, the attempt to repair that arm never happened. The doctor was, one day he was talking about how he could re-break this and fix it all up and make it just fine. And then a few days later, when he found out how weak my insurance was, all of a sudden he didn't want to talk to me at all. And so it never got fixed, which means that here it is, December of 2019, over 20 years, and the arm is still broken. And the question was, does my arm hurt when I play Minecraft? Well, that's kind of related to a question that I get frequently when people see the arm bent into some unusual positions that a normal arm can't get into. And well, a common first question is, doesn't that hurt? And my answer is yes, always. And that's pretty much it. It always hurts. It's a matter of intensity. Sometimes it's weaker than others. Sometimes I've had days where it felt like it had just happened. Those are special days, let me tell you. But usually it's somewhere in the middle, on the lower middle end of things most of the time. Unless, of course... Okay, that is enough wool. And unless, of course, oh, I don't even remember what I was going to say now. Arg. Anyway, since I don't remember what I was going to say, I'm going to move on and just not bother saying it. Okay, so yes, the arm hurts all the time. And there's not much I can do about that. Basically, as for how I play Minecraft with it, it's actually very easy. I can use the arm, I can move it, I can bend it, I can lift things with it. Well, up to a point. I really don't like trying to lift more than about 5 pounds or so with that arm, because the bone, having been broken, the bone from the upper part of the arm is not attached to the lower part of the arm, which means that skin and muscle tissue are the only reasons that my left arm doesn't just fall off, because it is not structurally attached, which is really not great. Anywho, okay, let's see. Next up, let's see. Okay, yeah. Bobo the Fearless asks, how did you end up joining Hermitcraft and what season was it? Okay. My very first episode of Hermitcraft was, I looked it up just before I started here, October 13th, 2013. And that was in Season 2. Season 2 was already in progress. And in fact, I'll even put a link in the video description to the current Hermitcraft Season 6 playlist. How about that? A little bit of self-plugging there. Okay. How about this? Instead of plugging myself, I will just do a little something here to prepare for the obviously approaching evening. Okay. All right. So, here we go. Touching the horizon in 3, 2, 1. Sleep. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, that's the Hermitcraft question. And how did I end up joining? I was a member of an FTB server that it ended up losing its home and ended up being rebranded as a Hermitcraft FTB. And along the way, a decision was reached that a hermit is a hermit, whether it is on modded or vanilla. And a whole bunch of people ended up joining the vanilla server. And it was cool. It was awesomeness. Lots of awesomenesses. And so on. And the rest, as they say, is history. Let's see. Carlos47 asks, what are your thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2? I think it's a video game. Now, I know a bunch of people just laughed at me for saying that, but I'm not up on that sort of thing. I've seen it mentioned, well, Red Dead Redemption, I've seen it mentioned a lot, but I do not own, nor have I ever played that game. I have not watched it or anything like that. So I really don't have a lot of thoughts about it. You know, not one way or the other. Sorry. Let's see. Bobo the Fearless again. He's certainly not afraid to ask questions, and that's good. You still trying to quit smoking? I have been trying to quit smoking since sometime in 2010. And at some point, I will get it done. In my current effort... Shut up, cow. In my current effort, I have been smoke-free for about 85 or so hours, I think. I'm not sure right this second, but it's somewhere very close to that as of the time of this recording, which is, I'm recording this at 3:21 in the morning on the 11th of December, so yeah. Right now, the biggest part of the difficulty of this is when I go to the store, I have to fight the urge to buy smokes. And that's a very difficult thing to do. Okay. Come on, get off of that sandbar. Go around this and proceed to new terrain while heading primarily west. And oh boy, I feel like I just wasted a boat. Yeah. All right. And yes, that's what I use torches for. When I get out of a boat, put down a torch. And also for lighting up hidey holes. And so, yeah. The idea behind putting down a torch every time I get out of a boat is that if it should ever at some point be possible, shut up, cow, to make an overview map of this world, one of those Google-style overview maps, then those torches, when you put the map in night mode, those torches will kind of stand out and sort of highlight the path a little bit. I don't know. I don't know that that's ever going to happen, though, because with this world currently being at 6,600 megabytes, over 6 gigabytes, that's a big world. And making a map of it would take quite a while. And then the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of images that make up that map would literally take days, possibly a week or more, to upload to a server. Yeah. So I'm not holding out a whole lot of hope about that ever happening. It would be nice, but it's just not practical. When a world gets this big, it's just no longer really practical to seriously consider making that kind of a map of it. As much as I'd like to. Yeah. Okay. Next question we have here. Perfect alibi. Let's see, what are all the medications you need to take? A lot. There's like 9 or 10 of them. And I don't know. I can't see myself sitting here and listing out medications and dosages and stuff like that. That's probably not a very entertaining way to pass time. Which of your medical issues would you love to see gone/cured? In which order of priority? All of them and any. Oh. Oh, for crying out loud. Ah. Okay. I got turned around here. I needed to be going this way. No, this way. Let's get it right. Arg. Okay. I got a feeling I'm going to end up back on the ice real soon, so I'm going to forego another boat. Anyway, I don't know. I couldn't honestly pick what thing I would like to have fixed more than all the others. Frankly, I've been dealing with some of this stuff since the summer of 1985, and that's more than half of my life. And I think I've earned a major 2,000-year break from it, you know? That sounds like a good idea to me. Let's see. Okay, next up. Bear in mind, I did say that I try to answer questions. I never promised that I would answer 100% completely or that my answers would be stone total super accurate. They will simply be answers. And it's entirely possible that they can be flat wrong, too. Let's see. Okay. Cheyenne McDaniel asks, well, this one has 3 questions down here. Where are you from? I'm from, originally, a small town in western Massachusetts that the only people that have ever heard of it are the people who live there or within about 20 miles of it. It's one of those, you know? And, okay, yeah, nighttime. Okay. Bed. Oh, come on, Minecraft. Really? There we go. Let's see. What is my favorite food? Oh, wow. What is my favorite food? Well, I could be a smart aleck and say something like the kind that will hold still long enough for me to eat it, but that's not actually quite true. Probably one of my all-time favorites is pizza. I am somewhat known for making it an absolute point to have to get myself pizza on my birthday. In fact, I would rather have pizza for my birthday than I would cake. And I realize that some people will be, oh my God, you don't want cake? Yeah, well, it's got to do with being diabetic and trying most of the time to avoid excessive amounts of sugar. And as much as I actually like cake, and I positively love frosting, I need to avoid that sort of thing. Way back in the day when I was younger and not necessarily as wise, I was, like in my 20s, I was able to do things like I could go to a store and buy a can of frosting and then sit down, open the can, and use a spoon and just eat the frosting fresh right out of the can. And go through a whole can of frosting like that straight while watching a movie or something. Or reading a book. Yes, I know that's not a great idea. It's time to make more boats. Okay. All right. I don't know why it is, but speaking while crafting doesn't seem to work. Never quite get that, but I always have trouble with that, especially when I'm counting out the parts to make, like, in this case, 4 boats. And then I come down here and I didn't need 4 boats. Oh well. It was still faster to do it this way than it was to just paddle or swim this way. Okay, yeah. Pizza is probably one of the most favorites. I am also an absolute, complete pastaholic. A complete carbaholic. I love my pasta. I don't have it very often. As a matter of fact, I don't allow myself to have pasta even as often as I get pizza. And I don't have pizza but maybe once every 2 or 3 months. And pasta, it's even longer. And my favorite way to have pasta is to cook up a pot of spaghetti. And what I'll do is I'll just buy like a 1 pound package of spaghetti, and I'll just cook up the whole thing. And then apply some sauce and perhaps some meatballs or something, and get out the fresh grated Parmesan cheese and go to town on that. And the reason that I don't do spaghetti or other forms of pasta very often is, well, the last time I did so was a great example. It was probably a little over a year ago, I think. And I made up a whole pound of pasta. And made with the sauce and the meatballs and the fresh grated Parmesan cheese. And then when it was all done, I served myself up a plate. And what with one thing and another, as I sat watching, I think I was watching videos at the time, and eating pasta, excuse me. And over the next 6 hours, I finished that pound of pasta and the pan of sauce that went with it. Now, this is not exactly necessarily a really great practice, especially if losing weight is on your mind. You don't even want to do something like that, because I'm quite sure that with that stunt, I probably took in enough calories for any 2 ordinary days, possibly 3. So this is why I hardly ever have pasta. It's just not a good idea. Alrighty. Love my pasta. I just have a little self-control issue with it. It's another one of those things that would probably be easier for me to deal with and control if I were not alone. You know, if I did not live alone. I've been alone for, well, honestly, to be totally honest about it, I've been alone for most of my life. And this includes a lot of times when there was actual people around. Yes, it is possible. But yeah, when you're doing things by yourself, they're not so easy to do, because that morale support and encouragement, as in-house, real live person you could reach out and touch right there, providing that encouragement without having to go through a online medium of some form. Yes, it's a big help. And it makes doing things like losing weight, putting away the cigarettes, and having the self-control not to eat a whole pound or 2 pounds of pasta in one day, all by yourself. Yeah. Anyway, that's about the size of that. And you know what else it is? It's time for me to dig in. Oh. Alright, let's get this sucker dug in. There's at least one more block deep. Alright, let's get a torch up here and get another one up there. Get this opened up. Yeah, that looks like that'll work. Alrighty. No. That. No. Always use dirt to close those up with. Alright, and a bed. Kaboom. Another torch. Get rid of you. Alright, I've got 3 boats, so 3 more beds. Okay, and collect this thing up. And that's going to just about do it for this episode. And yeah, that's going to do it. All right, thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.